Good morning, everyone. I'm actually recording this really bright and early, like really early. Not really early. It's like 8 in the morning. But I've already had to record this. Like I already had in mind to record this this morning because I had it already set. I was just trying to figure out like when would be the best time to record this, in the morning, in the evening. So I'm trying out morning to see how I feel about it. But welcome to A Cup of Joe, where I'm your host, Joe La Organista, and this is episode 6. I hope that you have been enjoying all the episodes that I've been creating for the past week, and it's kind of crazy to think September's gonna end. It just started, and now it's about to end. And this week, I swear I swear I think I'm like the most patient person in the entire world. You know, I think I'm very patient with myself and with others, but then again, it's like saying pigs fly, and it's not true, because every time I'm tested with my patience, nothing goes well, if that makes sense. I think what's been going on in my head throughout the week is, wow, I'm so impatient. I'm so impatient when it comes to just little things in life. And I don't know, it's because of just how we are now in this society, in this generation, that we just want everything to come fast to us. Or we just start to learn, well, that we're just impatient because of our personality. I don't know. But I've came to learn this week that I'm super impatient when it comes to things that are going in my life, as well, holding grudges. But the thing is, I know I'm not like that, but then again, we've already discussed, like, it's your choice to be happy, right? So it's literally my choice to be patient, to not be patient. And it's just sometimes super confusing throughout the week to try to figure out what is it that I'm feeling, and why do I feel always impatient with myself. And I don't know about you guys, if you guys feel impatient some days. Like, some days you just cannot deal with people. I cannot at all. And what do I mean by this? Well, so this week, one morning, I woke up really mad. Like, really mad. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I become impatient, I just start pushing people away. And I don't want anyone to bother me, and I don't want anyone talking to me, and I don't want anyone in my life. And I just feel like it's the best thing that I can do is just push people away. And so I think, like, maybe I have an attitude problem, but maybe not. But I don't know. And so going back to my story, I woke up this week one day really angry. I just woke up angry. I don't know why. You know, I don't know if you guys feel out those ways some days. I don't know. But I woke up mad at everyone and everything and everything in my life. And everything was like pissing me off in the morning. And I just didn't understand why. And maybe it's because of what happened the day before, which I can't remember. Or maybe it's because what I've been holding in and not letting out. But I woke up mad. And so, you know, I wake up, I do my bed, I do everything that I need to do. I go shower, and then I go to the kitchen to make breakfast. And I don't know about you, but I don't really like when people are in the kitchen making their breakfast when I'm there. It's like I kind of want alone time, but I kind of don't, because I kind of want to talk. But usually I don't. I just want to be left alone in the mornings. And so I get to the kitchen, and my brother's making breakfast, and I'm getting ticked about everything that he's doing. Like, everything. He's like, cracks an egg. I sign. I'm like, ugh. He like starts making breakfast. I'm just like, oh my gosh, can you just leave? I was being really mean to him, and he was just like, what the heck's, he's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so mad? Like, why are you waking up so mad? And I was just like, I just don't have the patience, okay? Just leave me alone. And then it gets worse. So I'm just being my dumb self and being very impatient with him and mad about everything. And then my dad comes in and he says, oh, happy birthday. I totally forgot it was my brother's birthday because I was just like so invested in myself and so invested of how angry I was and pissed and mad about who knows what. And I felt so bad because the first thing I said to him was just like, you know, just like, leave me alone, whatever. And I was like, dang, if I could have been just more patient with him, then I would have not made him feel like bad about him, like himself, on his birthday. And so after that, I asked, like, I went to, he ate his breakfast. He was waiting. He was planning to go leave to school, and so I came back, and like I came over here and I sat down, and I was just so angry. And I was like, no, I have to go apologize. So I went to go say sorry to him and talk to him, and he's like, it's okay. And I was like, I'm so sorry I didn't say happy birthday. And then I said happy birthday. And then I came back to the room, and I sat down, and I was just like, why am I so angry? Like, what the freak? Like, what's going on? And so then, I don't know why sometimes we're like this, you know? Some days we're just so angry and pissed at the world and pissed at others that we tend to hurt others because, honestly, we're not patient with ourselves and about what's going on in our lives. And, you know, sometimes we expect a lot from ourselves, and sometimes it affects other people because then we're in a mood that we just don't want to be in. And as well, we always want to be right about everything in regards to any situation, any problem, any circumstance. Well, at least for me, you know, I either want to be really right or I want to be right. Like, there's no other way. And so I feel like that day I sat down and I was thinking, like, man, I don't know why I'm going to be angry. So what am I going to do to try to, like, not feel so, like, mad and frustrated and impatient with myself? So, like, as a religious person, you know, I always try to do my scripture study and listen to talks and all that. And that helped me a lot throughout. That actually helped me after I started feeling a little bit impatient. I started feeling more patient about myself and how it's, you know, it's good to have moments where your patience is tested to bring down your pride and become more humble. And that's what I think I always need in my life because I'm just a prideful person and I just always want everything to go my way. And so then, again, going back, I was thinking, why are we so impatient with other people, especially ourselves? Like, what causes all this impatientness, if that's a word? And I think it's just like the stresses that we get from living, just trying to be successful, and like going day to day, when we just need to relax just a little bit, like just take time for ourselves. That besides the routine that we're doing. And I think that's just something that we need to do to kind of balance ourselves with everything that's a chaos in the world. And when we aren't patient with ourselves, we become impatient with ourselves, right? And then everything starts to go downhill from that. Like, we just we don't care what people think and feel, and we're not concerned about other people. And this happens to me a lot. I don't know about you, but when my parents are when my parents ask me for help in regards to technology, man, like that's when I get the least, like that's where I get impatient so quickly. I'm like, man, I've already told you how to download a file, or like I've already told you how to like compose an email. Like, I don't know why I have to keep telling you, repeating it to you, and it's just like, why do I get so frustrated? Like, why is it that it's just me? Like, why can't I just be patient with myself, with them, you know? Nothing in regards to them and how they should be patient with me, but it's more like, why can I not be patient with myself in regards when I'm helping someone, serving someone? And it's so interesting to know that, going back to my past podcast, right? Sorry. My last podcast that I've been discussing, that we talked about is, well, the last one was, it's your choice, right? And then the other one was, am I really falling behind? I think it's all about, like, it's kind of funny how I talk about all these things to inspire you to be different, to change, to believe in yourself and all this. And then at days I don't even do that myself. And then I just thought about, this is the reason why I'm doing this podcast, this episode 6 of being like, how you're impatient, is because we set all these goals and we forget the actual plan we're doing because we try to envision our lives so imperfectly in how we have in our head that we become impatient that it's not the way it is, you know? And then again, going back, that I say it's your choice to be happy. It's your choice, to change, to believe in yourself, and you're not falling behind, like you are. And I agree with myself in my podcast. Like, I understand, but it's also important to be patient with yourself when it comes to wanting to make all these changes and wanting to be different and wanting to achieve everything. And I think that's one thing that I just want to emphasize is being patient with yourself and not letting impatience really affect you, and using it as an opportunity to take a break from everything that you're doing and focus on yourself in a different way. Not just like, oh, I'm going to focus myself to be better. No, like, take time to really do something different, to acknowledge everything that you have done and be grateful about everything that you have done too. And I don't know if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is, in regards to everything that you're doing to achieve, to be different, to change, take time for yourself when you're struggling and when you're succeeding. Be patient with yourself. Make time for yourself so you can sit down, reflect, and be like, hey, you're okay, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm glad that we're doing this, and I'm glad we're trying, but let's slow down a little bit, let's be a little patient with ourselves, so at the end of the day, when we don't accomplish what we didn't accomplish, we're not frustrated with ourselves and impatient with ourselves the next day. And I think that's something that we all need to do. We all struggle with that. I can't be the only one struggling with this every day when I have my planner and I have a list of things that I got to do. And at the end of the day, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, man, I didn't get that done, And again, it's going back to like, you are enough and you are doing good, but you need to relax and really take the time to be patient with yourself, so then you can be aware of other people, because sometimes we're so invested in ourselves that we forget to serve others. We forget to actually be concerned about other people's feelings. Like I was that day with my brother. I was so concerned about how I was feeling that I forgot it was his birthday. And I'm so concerned with myself of how impatient I am with my parents in regards to like technology or anything, that I forget that they have feelings. It's just like, sometimes I'm so invested in myself that I forget, like, man, it's not about you. Like, be patient with yourself, but it's not about you. It's never about you. Like, when are you taking the time to serve others? When are you taking the time to actually be there for other people than just having people be there for you, And again, it's in regards of, we always have this list of things that we want to achieve and do, and then we just want to be successful ourselves. So I feel like we need to breathe. We need to do something different so that we can reconnect with ourselves and be patient with ourselves. And so I don't know about you. Well, actually this weekend, well, kind of like last week, I went to a wedding, one of my good friends, and it was so beautiful. This wedding was so beautiful. And I remember sitting there. I was there for the ring ceremony. I was sitting down with another friend, and the bride, oh my gosh, she wrote a poem for the groom, my friend that was getting married. It was the most beautiful poem that I ever read listened in my entire life. All I can remember of the poem are these words. She said, every time you look at me, it's as if you're looking at me for the first time. And every time you like have the chance to grab my hand or whatever, or like something like that, I get butterflies in my stomach. Oh, it was so beautiful. I bawled my eyes out. And I remember talking to my friend there. We were both crying, and it was just like, there was a moment right there again where I felt impatient. And my friend was like, man, that was so beautiful. And I said, I know, right? Man. And I just like, the phrase that always comes to my head, it's just like, oh, when will it be my turn? When will it be my turn? When will I be in front of the person, in front of the love of my life, and I'm saying a poem to them, or singing a song, or doing whatever, and feeling so complete and loved, And it was that day. It was so beautiful, the wedding, but I felt so uneased and impatient with myself because I said, man, like, what am I doing wrong? You know? And I think sometimes we get like that. We are so hard on ourselves because of things that we don't have. And that wedding really hit me emotionally. I was like bawling in the ring ceremony. And then obviously after that, I went to go congratulate them, and I told her, I was like, that was the most beautiful poem I've ever heard. I literally could have fallen in love with you after you said that. and they laughed, and the wedding was just so beautiful, and it's just like timing, you know. Everyone is so rushed to do things in their lives, you know, to get a job and to get married and to do this, and then we look at other people and we see that they're doing it, and then we get so impatient, and we're like, when is it my turn? Like, when am I gonna get that moment? When am I gonna achieve that? And sometimes that always happens in my head. I talk about it, with myself in my head, and it's just like, man, like, I have achieved so much, but when will it be my turn, you know? And man, like, I hate when I do that, because then I get all frustrated, and then I get all sad, and I'm like, dude, like, calm down, please, like, relax. And so what I try to do with these moments is not focus on myself. So in this wedding, I was focused on, obviously, the bride and groom, and my friends that went, and it was just like, you know, like, the moments that I'm just like in life, like, when? And anyways, so yeah, going back, so that's the wedding just made me realize, that's was like when it made me realize, it's like, dang, I'm so impatient with myself. And that's what got me to the idea of this podcast, this episode, of just like, man, why are we so impatient with ourselves? And what can we do when we feel impatient, even though we are achieving a lot? And I kept thinking, and I'm still thinking about like what I do. And I think that's why going to like the solutions of things that make me feel good about myself and others is going dancing and doing things like this podcast, and talking it out and trying to really feel what I'm feeling. Because when after the wedding, during the wedding we went dancing, and then I felt a lot better. Like, at the wedding we were dancing. And so stepping back and seeing your life, you know, so I hope that you can, like, while you're listening to me, I'm pretty sure there's our thoughts that are coming into your head, and the memories are coming into your head, and there's probably reasons that you're feeling impatient with your life, with things that you know that are not happening. And so let's try to be more patient with ourselves, you know. Besides me doing my daily affirmations of, you know, that I choose to be happy, I'm trying to really be more grateful for what I have, so that I can be more patient with myself. And that's hard because we tend to not look at the blessings that we have. We always tend to be looking at what we don't have. And so in regards of when I feel impatient, I do things to make me feel very grateful of what I can do and what I have. So again, one of them is dancing. I love dancing because it takes my stress away, and it allows me to just feel, happy. I love music, and every time I listen to music and I start dancing, it's just like all this worriness that I have and all the things that I'm like feeling impatient about start to go away, and then they don't go away completely. It's just a feeling of, hey, I'm okay, you know. And yes, my time will come for everything that I want to accomplish in my life. Just like be grateful where I am right now and what I have. And then the other thing that I do to feel to help myself feel patient is go outside in the nature and do things like this, like my podcast and my videos, because I know that it makes people happy, and then it makes me happy. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, do things, that make you happy, but do things that make people happy of what you do. I'm not saying that you should do whatever people say, but I don't know. The best way to become more patient with yourself is to forget yourself and to really do something for someone. And that's what I've been trying to do more things for other people, for my parents, for my brother. Sometimes, oh man, it's so hard. I wish you could see like a bird's eye view of how I've been feeling this week, of how frustrated I get so easy. Like, I don't want to get frustrated anymore so easily. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, going back to what I'm saying, because I'm getting distracted, is, yeah, do things that will help other people, do things that will make people feel loved and cared for, and you'll start to realize that everything in your life is pretty aligned at where you need to be. Again, my life, I have like a journal with everything that I planned since 2020. Like, it's like in every aspect of my life. And I go back and I look at it, and it's nothing what I planned for like the next 4 years, right? It's crazy. But I'm very grateful to be where I am in this moment in my life, and trying to become more patient with myself. And obviously, because I'm a religious person, like be patient and hoping that, having faith that God will put everything that I need in my way. And if obviously you don't believe in God, then whatever you believe in, energy or the universe or just yourself, that everything's gonna be okay. And sometimes I think we need to hear that from ourselves, like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, you're doing better than you think you are, And that's what I want to try to get at today. This is probably like a really short podcast, but it's just the thoughts that I've been thinking daily throughout the week. And honestly, like at 3 a.m. is, dude, be patient with yourself. Like, if once you start, like, at least for me, like, when I start becoming impatient, I kind of explode with emotions and everything. And so I always try to stop, think, feel, and before I say anything stupid. Because I always say something like stupid, and when I'm like exploding and impatient, and I just don't want to be like that anymore. And it's kind of funny. I feel like every time I go on this podcast, it's like me saying like, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do different, and I am changing every day, and I have changed throughout the years. I just want to be more patient with myself, with others too, but like with myself. I'm so hard on myself, and like I know that I am, and then it affects me, and it makes me so sad that at the end of the day, I look at myself sometimes and I'm like, oh, why? And so yeah, that. And also, I just remembered something which I'm going to talk about, because it just so my phone, I don't know if you've seen this trend on like social media. It's like, it's this like video of yourself that you put a photo of, and then you say, it's like the person saying like with the video like, oh, I'm ugly, and then they show a picture of their younger self and they say, oh, you think I'm ugly? Oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing. It's not the cutest thing, but it just like makes you think. It's like, how would your younger self feel the way you're treating yourself now in regards to being impatient with yourself? And that really caught my attention, because man, like, you think about, like, if you honestly think about your younger self, like pre-K, kindergarten, and kinder, first grade, second grade, third grade, like, you at that age, oh, you're probably so small. I was small, shy, and like, how would your younger self feel about you if in regards of you being impatient with yourself, And so going back to that, I have a picture of, well, those who are listening to my podcast on Spotify, you won't be able to see the photo, but on YouTube, I have this photo of me as a kid on my phone. I don't know if you can see that. I think I'm in pre-K, kindergarten, and it's just so funny because for those who are on Spotify, I'm describing this photo. So it's me in this pink dress, and I have bangs, and I have hair like Dora, and I look like Dora the Explorer, and I'm smiling like awkwardly, like I don't know how to smile, but I love this photo of myself. Okay, I'm gonna show it to you again. Yeah, okay. So why do I have this photo behind my phone? Great question. Thanks for asking. I have this photo behind my phone is because when I get really frustrated with myself and I get really anxious and I start getting anxiety or I start to explode or I feel unsuccessful or I feel any type of emotion that's negative, I look at this photo and I think to myself, well, what would she think? Like, what would Joletita in preschool and kindergarten would feel about how I'm treating myself right now, you know? And, oof, like, even it gets me emotional. Like, kind of like, wow, like, why would I be so mean to myself? Like, why? Well, you wouldn't be mean to a child, you know? You wouldn't be mean to, like, I wouldn't be mean to my niece, even though she's learning, she's growing, you know? When she makes a mistake, you teach her, you cheer her on. Like, my sister, when she's with my niece, and she like, she says, you know, like, mommy, look. And then my sister turns and she, like, just spins. And my sister's like, wow, that was amazing. Do it again. You know, like, you cheer them on. And I was just thinking to myself, like, man, like, I feel like this little girl right here would be like, wow, you're doing so much. You're not where, like, you've done so much. So why are you so hard on yourself? And so this is why I have my photo. So then when I get all whatever, how I was feeling and impatient with myself, I look at it and I say, yeah, I'm making that girl proud. I'm making this little girl proud. Anyways, I don't know. So I why not do that? You know, get a little picture of yourself and kind of look at it and think, what would younger self say to you, but also what would younger self think about you? I think honestly, Gillette, this age, would think I'm the coolest girl in the world. I think she would say, like, dude, that girl's freaking cool. Well, she'd be like, that's a cool girl. Or, wow, that girl's so beautiful and pretty. Wow, she doesn't look like Dora the Explorer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when we start talking to ourselves in that sense, we show ourselves more love, more patience, and you can say, like, wow, I have done so much. And so try that. Get a picture of yourself and kind of just observe it, and you'll start to get emotional of how the younger self would view you. And I bet she would have nothing negative to say. This Gillette would have nothing negative to say about me, because all she would see in her eyes is someone that's trying, someone that's doing her best, and someone who is really loved, and someone who's probably really patient with herself, even though I'm not. Oh. that was good. I knew that. Anyway, so that's why I have the photo of myself behind my phone. So I can just be gentle with myself when there's moments that I just can't. I can't. And so in regards of everything that I've said through my last podcast, I totally agree with myself of, you know, doing what you need to do to achieve what you need to achieve, but take time to be patient with yourself and to love yourself and to do something to reward yourself, because no one's going to do it. Someone might do it if you have a significant other, but just do it by yourself, you know? Take your time, do something that you love, go dancing, do whatever you want, go get ice cream, go get fries, I don't know, and reward yourself. And then look at yourself and be like, yeah, be more patient with me. Be more patient with myself. And I know, I always say, like, promise, like I can. And I think when we do that, we feel a lot better about ourselves and about where we are, and we're okay. We don't have to get frustrated. I don't have to get frustrated and mad, and I don't have to wake up mad. And if I do, just take the time for myself and do something that I like to do. So that's the lesson that I have for you. Short and sweet today is be patient with yourself. And when you're impatient, become patient, Think of your younger self and what would they say about you? What would they say about you? It's probably nothing negative. So just everything positive. You are exactly where you need to be at this moment. And so take a deep breath, relax, and continue with everything that you need to do. But take time for yourself. So I hope that you learned a valuable lesson today about what I've been feeling this week. And maybe some of you have been feeling the same way. And you can continue, with your life, with perseverance and patience with yourself. Don't say anything that you wouldn't say to your younger self. That's the lesson of the day. Be patient with yourself the way people were patient with you when you were younger. It's just such a learning, growing journey process. So why do you think you have to figure everything out or have everything figured out right now? I'm 25. Still, I don't have a lot of things figured out, but it's a learning process. So enjoy the journey and don't get frustrated. And if you are frustrated, then do things that make you happy. So that's my cup of Joe for today. Short and sweet. And I love you guys, and I love younger Joletita, and I promise that I'll be more patient with you every day. So that's the end of this episode. Make sure if you're new, welcome, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube as well to my Spotify to hear what a cup of Joe is all about every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Day time. Yeah. So I love you all, and we'll see you next week. See ya.